For the final time here in this calendar year, we have baseball on the show, and they don't come any bigger than this. It's the big one, Game 7 of the World Series between the Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Indians. Hi again, everybody. Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to the World Series here on the show. With me are Eric Karros and Steve Lyons. And Steve, everything to play for here as we get ready for Game 7.
Well, I think it's really been what you'd call a World Series for the ages. Back and forth, a lot of tight games, a very evenly played series. And now it's all come down to this. One game, 9 innings for the World Championship, and this is what it's all about. Pull up a seat, grab some popcorn, but hang on for the ride.
Set for what should be a good one. Lineups and first pitch are next. The crowd is ready to erupt as their guys get set to take the field. Let's join public address announcer Mike Carlucci.
And now, your Cleveland Indians.
And briefly here, a glance at the 2 starters who'll get the ball here in this one. With that, a look at the Cubbies' starting lineup. What do they need to focus on in order to win a championship here on the road, Steve?
Well, you're going to get a heavy dose of those sinking fastballs, so you've got to look for the ball to get up in the zone. If you swing at anything down, you're going to be rolling over pitches, and it's hard to get a rally started if you're hitting into double plays all day.
Corey Kluber will be the Game 7 starter here in the World Series in front of his hometown crowd. What's your take on him, EK?
Well, guys, this is somebody you've got to get up in the zone. His out pitch is the sinker ball. And if he's working that thing down, it's going to be a long game for the hitters.
And with a quick breather here, let's give you a look at how the Tribe stacks up defensively. It's brought to us by Majestic. Eric, what do we need to know?
Well, guys, one of the great shortstops in the game, especially when you're talking about athleticism, Francisco Lindor. What he does just amazes every time out. We get an opportunity to watch him in this one.
Dexter Fowler heads for the batter's box, and we are just about ready for some evening baseball. And we are underway now from Cleveland as the first pitch of the night is taken for ball 1. And back-to-back pitches out of the zone to begin the evening. It's 2-0 now.
Yeah, and he didn't even have to think twice about that one. And now he's got a good hitters count here, 2-0.
Kluber's ready. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Gets the call on the changeup there, 2-1.
And if he can come in here and start putting that pitch in that location, ain't nobody going to touch him.
A little bouncer, but it gets foul. He's ready with the 2-2 pitch. Hit hard to short. That gets through, and he'll start the inning off with a base hit.
In the second spot tonight, the designated hitter, Kyle Schwarber.
Settling in now, Kyle Schwarber. He'll get to take his first cuts here. And prior to the first pitch, he'll look to first. And a dive, but he's back. Here's the first pitch to him. Sends that one out of play for strike 1. Hit on the ground to short. Kipnis on to first, and they get the double play, but boy, was he ever upended at second base.
Third baseman, Chris Bryant.
Oh, this will be a good look here in show motion. Even in super slow-mo, I think we all know what's running through his mind right here. He knows he's going to get leveled, and this is something right out of a gymnastics class. That one had to hurt.
Chris Bryant will get his first opportunity here in Game 7, and obviously a lot riding on every at-bat at this point.
Yeah, it's win or go home, and this is where you really have to start to lean on your stars. So he's going to have a lot of pressure on his shoulders to come up with something big.
And he lays off there, 1-0. You got to figure that man right there would be more than happy to see this guy at the plate taking his swings with 2 out and nobody on all night long.
So would the guy on the mound.
Chopped foul right at home plate. It's strike 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a half swing here, but he pretty clearly went around, and it's 1-2 now. And it's to 2-2 now with the bases empty and 2 gone here in the inning. And set up working the plate is Larry Bullard, as you see the rest of our umpiring crew there.
Well, my man Larry, he's solid. Rarely do many people get upset with his calling of the strike zone because it doesn't really seem like he favors any one part of the zone more than another.
Ball 3. 3-2 now.
You've got the big thunder coming next, so you do not want to lose this guy.
Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. Nothing happening there for the Cubbies. And now the Indians will see what their bats can do in a scoreless ball game. Time now in Cleveland to take a glance at the Tribe's starting lineup. Steve, what's the key if they want to be crowned world champions here tonight?
I'll tell you what, this team has their ace on the mound, so it's probably not going to take a whole lot of offense to get a win for them.
Kyle Hendricks gets the ball in hostile territory here for Game 7 of the World Series. EK, what do you got?
Well, remember, he will show that cutter just to keep the hitter off balance and basically to keep the hitter honest. Doesn't want him sitting on certain pitches.
With a moment now, let's take a look at the Cubs' alignment on defense. It's brought to us by Majestic. EK, what do you got?
Well, Matty, Anthony Rizzo is really the centerpiece for this Cubs ball club. Offensively, we know what he does, but defensively, he really holds this infield together. Very fluid over at first base, good soft hands, and has a good throwing arm as well.
Carlos Santana comes to the plate to lead things off here in the bottom half of the first. Here's a sinker to start him out, but he wouldn't bite. It's ball 1. And a strike to even the count. 1-1. Figure we'll probably see a heavy dose of that sinker here tonight.
It's really a pitch you'll lean on, especially when he needs that ground ball, but even in situations like this where he's just trying to get ahead.
Had him off stride that time, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that's just the same pitch 3 times in a row. I guess he figures, why mess with success when you get it to 1-2?
Now a swing and a ground ball. Bryant is up with it. And the throw on to first will take care of him. So he's thrown out by the only man standing on the left side of the infield. 1 away.
Jason Kipnis.
So the bases are empty with one man gone. And standing in now, the power-hitting second baseman, Jason Kipnis. Below the knees, 1 ball, no strikes.
1-0.
And he won't bite at that one either. It's 2-0.
And on 2-0, this is where he's the most dangerous up there. I know it's a fastball count, but I would maybe think about something else.
From the windup, the 2-0 pitch. Too far out in front that time. He can't keep it fair. 2-1. Into the windup. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Grounded up the first baseline. But this will be a foul ball as that evens things at 2-2. Bases are empty. 1 man out. Grounded back up the middle. Throw gets him. 2 down.
Batting third.
And with 2 away now, it's time to take our final look this year at our playoff brackets. Boy, it seems like so long ago that we got things started in the divisional rounds, but we will officially have our champion by the conclusion of play tonight. Francisco Lindor gets his first cuts now. The bases are empty, and there are 2 away here in the opening frame.
Yeah, nothing doing so far here. He kind of needs to put up a tough at-bat right here just to make this guy work a little bit.
He'll start him here with a changeup, but it's taken for ball 1. Runs outside, so it goes to 2-0 now. And this one's over at the knees. 2-1. Inside for a ball as he falls behind to him here. 3-1.
Good at bat so far here with 2 away. He's going to go down in order. At least make that guy work for it. Got himself back into a fastball count now.
2 out, nobody on. And a good job there to lay off. It's ball 4 as he becomes their first base runner of the ball game now with 2 away.
And I may not know a whole lot about pitching, but what I do know is this is not the guy you want to be putting on base with a walk. That definitely puts the stolen base in order now with 2 away.
Mike Napoli will dig in now, hoping to perhaps make him pay for the 2-out walk.
Yeah, nothing going on earlier in this inning, but a chance to make some noise right here. Those kind of walks often seem to come back and bite guys somehow.
He's short, hit hard. Oh, and he can't pick it up cleanly. And a good effort as he's able to stick with it and get the 3rd out of the inning. 1 left for the Tribe. After 1, no score. Anthony Rizzo makes his way to the plate. He'll get us started here in the top of the 2nd.
And this is a guy that can make a big change in this game with 1 swing of the bat because you know he has big-time power.
And he'll start the inning with a pitch that misses off the plate. It's ball 1. That's wide. 2-0.
All right, now you've just seen 2 straight breaking pitches miss away. So as a hitter, you're going to eliminate that pitch. No way does he throw it a 3rd time.
Kluber sets his sights. Here's the 2-0. And he's going to kick off the 2nd with extra bases. Rizzo will head for 2nd. And he'll get in there standing up with a leadoff double.
Oh, that one sounded great off the bat. That's a good, crisp line drive right here to start the inning, and he'll make it up to 2nd with a leadoff double.
Ben Zobrist will stand in and an early RBI opportunity here in Game 7.
And it goes without saying, this is an important one to cash in on. You don't know how many more opportunities you're going to get, so you've got to make everyone count.
He's set. Here it comes. And the 34-year-old veteran looks at a called strike. It's 0-1. Gets on top of one here and chops it foul right at home plate. Has to be thinking strikeout here. And he reaches for one out of the zone and misses rather badly for the first out.
A real good three-pitch sequence there. Each pitch just took him a little bit further and further away. On 0-2, he's got to protect, and he winds up reaching for a ball that's clearly out of the strike zone.
Here's Addison Russell. So weighed out a breaking pitch here that finds the zone for strike one. A 1 pitch on its way. Swing and a ball chopped foul right at home plate. The 0-2 home. Takes this the other way to right. A dive, but he can't come up with it in right as it skips right past him. Around third and being waved on home. And they're going to take a 1-0 lead as the run comes across to score. And he will make it all the way to third now as that mistake proves a costly one indeed.
Well, there's one way to get our first run of the game across. A good hustle there on the RBI triple, and they're in good shape to possibly make it 2-0 with another base hit.
Standing in now, number 40. Here's his swing, and just foul, says the umpire, and he was right on that one. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Got him out on his front foot. It's 0-2.
Well, it's so important to be able to strike first in a postseason game. Get that first run in, especially when you're the team playing on the road. Hopefully you can take a little life out of this big crowd.
A pause and the 0-2. And a good 2-strike pitch, but he misses high 1 and 2.
And I think that might have been a little bit of a purpose pitch right there up in the zone. Now I think he's going to come back down with something to try to get that strikeout.
Chop foul at the plate. It'll remain 1 and 2. The 1 and 2 pitch. Just a bit low. Tough call, but it's 2 and 2. Second inning here as the Cubs lead this one early 1-0. A full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and that's not the pitch you want to throw on 2 and 2. I mean, that was so high, he didn't even have to think about swinging at it.
Here comes the payoff pitch. Good swing on a tough pitch, and he'll stick around to see another one. Locked in a good battle. Here comes another one. High pop-up. Perez has a play, and he brings it in for the second out of the inning.
Oh, and that's a big pitch right there to get that pop-up. That keeps the runner stuck tight to third base. And now with 2 away, your chances of getting that run home just took a big hit.
Here's Jason Hayward now. Here's a slider to start things out, looked at for ball one.
I think that's consistent with how the strike zone gets called nowadays. That's a strike in the rule book, but most umpires won't give you that pitch anymore.
2 outs here with a runner at third. This one's a strike. It's 1-1.
Yeah, the best way to neutralize this guy's power, just keep putting pitches right there.
Inside with the slider, and that'll back him up a bit.
I think he was trying to get that slider in on his hands, but I don't think he meant for it to get in that far. I think he just released it a little too late.
To 2-2 now.
Oh, and he sure got a good one, doesn't he? That ball goes from about knee-high to ankle-high in the matter of about 5 feet.
Ready on 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes. And he got him. Minimizing the damage at just a run. The inning is over. But the Cubs do come through with 1 thanks to the RBI triple. On to the bottom of inning number 2. It's now 1-0 Chicago. Leading off the inning, Jose Ramirez, as they'll look to get something going here and even this game up.
Jose Ramirez.
And this one's nowhere close as that bounces to the plate for ball 1. Hot shot on the ground to short. A dive, but he can't get it. It's through into the outfield.
And this will bear watching as the game goes on. You know, if he's going to have success here, a lot of it's going to hinge on how he can locate his sinker. That one's too far up in the strike zone. A belt-high sinker is not much more than a flat fastball.
Striding into the box, Lonnie Chisenhall, as he'll get his first opportunity in this one. He's ready. Here's the first offering. Behind on that one, now behind in the count, 0-1. Swing and a miss, and he's in control. 0-2.
Now you got to beware of that sinker. I mean, he'd take a strikeout right now, but I think he still just wants this guy to hit the ball on the ground.
Nobody out, runner on first. Down and away, it's a ball and 2 strikes. Chop foul at the plate, and we'll do it again. Looking for the strikeout. Here's the 1-2. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now. A runner at first with no outs here. Chop foul at the plate, and the count holds at 2-2. Fought off at the plate, and we'll do it again. Set to deal on 2-2. And that misses, so it's a full count, 3-2. You have to figure that he's really going to need to keep the walks in check if he's going to have success here.
I was thinking the same thing. No free rides. You got to make these guys earn it.
Swing and a little tapper. That rolls foul, and they'll do it again.
Just finding a way to stay alive up there.
And now this will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. On pitch number 10 is the one that finally does it as he strikes out after a long battle here.
Boy, and just a great call that time to turn to the changeup. That's one of those at the plate where you don't even wait for the umpire to make the call. You know you're a goner.
So a runner at first with one out now. And stepping in is the center fielder, Rajay Davis. A called strike to the 35-year-old veteran. 0-1. Off-speed pitch in the dirt as he takes it for a ball. Looks like he employed the slide step on that last pitch.
Well, maybe you see a little cat and mouse game going between the pitcher and the runner right now. We'll see who wins this duel.
Hit to first. Oh, he takes his eye off it there as it goes right past him into right. And that runner will go no further than second as there are two aboard now.
A little bad luck there defensively. If that's hit at an infielder, it's a double play. But instead, now you're in hot water here with one away.
Here's Coco Crisp standing in, batting left-handed here as he takes a look at strike one.
Pretty good speed here coming out of that left-handed batter's box, so it's no sure thing that a ground ball means a double play.
Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch. And a changeup here, but that's taken low in the dirt for a ball. Even at a ball and a strike. Here's the pitch. Chop fouled over towards the coaching box. Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. On it's tailor-made to short. 6, 4, 3. It's a double play and the inning is over. Indians leave 1. They still trail 1-0. Javier Baez steps in here to start out their half of the third. Top of the order to follow.
Yeah, and you know he's the number 9 hitter, but you've got to go to the plate right now thinking like a leadoff guy. Just find a way to get on base and then give those 1, 2, 3 guys a chance to drive you in or do something.
Sinker to open the AB in there for strike 1. And he pumps the fastball by him at 94. It's 0-2.
You know, a lot of times with a sinker baller out there, you're just conditioned to always look for something down. So he can surprise you with that high fastball, maybe 4-seam it every once in a while. And when he does, you can forget it.
Swing and a miss as he starts the third the same way he ended the second with a punch out, 1 away.
And he was really late on this one. I mean, really late. You can see where the baseball is by the time he gets the barrel through. I mean, it's darn near in the catcher's glove already. That tells me he was probably looking for something else.
Here's Dexter Fowler now. As he'll take a look at a high strike that time. It's 0-1.
Well, you know, you hear it all the time because it's true. First pitch strikes are so important. It really changes the complexion of the at-bat for not only the pitcher but the hitter as well, especially when you've got a good hitter up there.
That's taken. Now it's 0-2.
Yeah, he came with a little bit of a different look that time. This pitch is also in there knee-high, and now they've got him behind in the count, 0-2.
And a slider runs in on him as he has to lean out of the way.
And even on 0-2, you don't want guys to get into a comfort level up there.
One out, nobody on. Grounder hit hard down the first baseline. And a sliding attempt at first, but this sneaks by him, a base hit.
This is a very good approach here with 2 strikes. It's a smart approach. You know, he's not trying to come out of his shoes here. He just makes a good 2-strike adjustment and delivers a nice solid base hit. That's how you do it.
Kyle Schwarber will be the batter. 0 for 1 here in the early going. Kluber pauses. First pitch on the way. Pitch out. Nothing doing. Runners on first with 1 down. Not close. It's 2-0.
Now after that first pitch out, another ball here really puts you in the hole against a dangerous hitter.
Three and 0 now.
Is he worrying too much about that guy on first?
I think he might be. Guys worry so much about the stolen base, but they don't realize that a walk is 10 times worse.
He's set, and the 3-0 offering. And he misses with that one for ball 4. So that'll put runners on first and second now with 1 away.
And once they fell behind in the count, I think this is a case where they just say, look, you're going to have to fish for something because we are not going to just lay one right in there for you. Probably not a bad decision against a power guy like this.
Chris Bryant is into the box. He was a strikeout victim in his first try.
Yep, they sent him packing last time, so maybe they have a pretty good idea of how to attack him again right here.
Good bite to the slider, and he takes strike 1.
Good pitch right there, right on the heels of a walk. He needed to get ahead of the next guy, and he did just that.
And he falls behind 0-2. Runners are at first and second with 1 away. And this is swung on and missed. His 5th strikeout already, and there are 2 gone in the inning.
Well, you talk about a big time to come up with a strikeout. Now, you still got one more guy to get through here in the inning, but now with 2 outs, you can take a step back, take a deep breath, and know that those runners have to stay put at first and second.
Anthony Rizzo stands in with 2 on and 2 out here in the 3rd.
And you know, some guys just get better with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. This is a big at-bat for him right here, even though it's still early.
And he gets ahead with the curveball, strike 1.
And in a spot like this, first and second with 2 away, that's where he's at his toughest on the mound. He'll bear down and start finding the corners of the strike zone. Makes it very hard for you to score runs off him.
And he misses with it, 1-1. 2 down, runners at first and second. Swing and a liner, but foul. And a sinker dips too low there. Into the dirt, in fact. And a The slider just about gets away from him there as it runs in a bit too close for comfort. EK, where are you going now on 3-2?
I still got to work at corner. Not just going to throw it right down the middle and grab a strike. Can't be a giveaway pitch.
2 men are on with 2 men out. Swung on and missed, and that's the final out of the inning. Cubs strand a couple, but they hold a 1-0 lead. Roberto Perez digs into the box in the bottom of inning number 3.
Catcher, Roberto Perez.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Drilled to the right side. There's Baez. Throw on to first in time. 1 away.
Now batting, designated hitter, Carlos Santana.
Carlos Santana will dig in again. He grounded out to start the home first. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Took a little off, and it's in for a called strike 1. Bases are empty. 1 man out. Chopped foul right at home plate. Sinker misses, and it's 1-2 now. Pretty clear the plan is to keep everything away.
And that's smart for most guys, but you've got to know your scouting report because this is a guy that can cover the outside part of the plate.
Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss on the changeup, and there are 2 gone.
Well, the reason he's having the success he's had so far comes down to one main reason. Changing speeds effectively. And you saw it in evidence right there. That's what you got to do to be a big-time pitcher.
In is the second baseman, Jason Kipnis. On the ground up the middle. Russell with a great stop. The throw. Just late. He's safe.
Man, almost a great play.
Nearly a remarkable play, but scored a base hit, and the inning continues with 2 away. So here's Francisco Lindor now, as he'll take a tough pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
Now you've got the tying run over at first. 2 away. He's going to be looking to try and find a gap right here and bring that guy all the way around to score.
Before the 0-1, he'll check on first. A dive, but he's back.
Why not? Make him get dirty.
The 0-1 on its way. Hit hard on the ground towards second. Baez fields it cleanly. Throw to first will get him easily, and the side is retired. 1 left for the Tribe. It remains 1-0. Ben Zobrist is ready here as we begin the top of the 4th.
Left fielder, Ben Zobrist.
Now here's a slider that can't quite get back to the outside corner. It's ball 1. That missed. Close. It's ball 2.
Yeah, a little unlucky here to be behind 2-0. Those first couple of pitches haven't missed by a whole lot.
That one's more like it, he says. Back to 2-1 now.
And at the plate, if you've got an umpire helping you out, no reason to go after a borderline pitch on 2-0.
Kluber gets the sign. Here's the 2-1. Line to the right side. But this is right at him in right field as he hardly has to move to take it in for the first out.
Well, that one looked like for all the world it was a sure single leading off the inning. It was certainly hit hard enough, but evidently it was hit a little too hard as it winds up getting flagged down, and that's just a tough break.
Here's Addison Russell. As the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike one.
Well, this guy has thrown a first pitch strike to about 50% of the batters he's faced. He's pitching well, but those numbers could be pumped up a little bit.
Smoke toward third. Throw on to Napoli takes care of him. 2 away now.
The batter, number 40.
Number 40 will dig in. 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Liner toward right center. Solid base hit for him, his first of the afternoon.
Check this out on Show Track. It's not a bad first pitch. It's down. It's on the outside part of the plate. Hey, if you can get guys to swing at that, you're going to have a lot of success. Just didn't work out here.
Here's Jason Hayward now. As he'll take a look at a slider here that finds the zone for strike one. A runner on first with 2 away. Throw over to first, and the runner back.
Keeping an eye on him.
He's set. Here's the 0-1. Runner goes for second. Pitch misses low. The throw down. Not in time as he steals second.
And that may have been an out-and-out guess right there. He had to figure they weren't going to throw over twice in a row, so he's running on first movement, and he makes it to second base safely.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike. And he can't catch the corner here, so he's behind 3-1.
Well, I think it's time to attack now because these guys haven't been in too many good hitters' counts. This is where you need to pounce.
1 run, 5 hits. No errors so far for the Cubbies. And that misses, ball 4, so it's first and second now with 2 out.
The batter, number 9, second baseman,
Javier Baez gets a shot here with 2 on and 2 out here in the 4th.
And a big 2-out at-bat right here. You know, it's still early in this game, but you don't want to have to look back on this as a major missed opportunity later on.
And this is just off the outside corner for a ball, 1-0. Two down, runners at first and second. That's by him for strike one. One of the things that makes him so tough to hit, the ability to put his pitches right on the black.
Yeah, I mean, you watch the catcher's glove on some of these, and it literally does not move. That's how good his stuff is.
Maybe too much break on the slider. 2-1.
Boy, what a nice job so far of working himself into a hitter's count. Now he can go to work on maybe picking up that 2-out RBI out of the 9-hole.
He's fallen behind now. 3-1. Fastball here.
I think it has to be. You're licking your chops if you're the hitter. 3-1. You can't walk the bases loaded. Bail and wail.
2 men are on with 2 men out. And there's a called strike at the knees as he was hoping for a base on balls there, but it's a full count now, 3-2.
A lot of people think that pitch will burn straight down, but it will work back a little bit towards righties, like that one did right there.
Good battle continues as this ball's chopped foul at the plate, and the count remains 3-2. Ready now with the payoff pitch. Jammed him a bit there as it's fouled at the plate. Ready to deliver the full count pitch. Hit hard back up the middle, and that's through into center field. Base hit. And the run is in to score from second. It's a 2-0 ball game. And now time is called here as their pitching coach is going to pay a quick visit to the mound to discuss how they want to attack things here. Dexter Fowler digs in, coming off a single in his last at-bat. First pitch curveball runs in a bit too tight. It's ball one. Looking to minimize the damage here. That hole getting a little deeper now. It's 2-0. Eric, what are you looking for here?
It's a fastball count, but he doesn't always play by the rules out there, so this could very well be a slider or something away. So in other words, I have no idea.
The 2-0 pitch. Sent on the ground out to second. Throw in time, and the side is retired. 2 hits in the inning lead to a run for Chicago. To the bottom of inning number 4 we go. The Cubbies are in front, 2-0. Leading off the inning, Mike Napoli, and they'll need him to get something going here.
And right here is an important time for them to climb back into this one. They definitely want to even this one up sooner rather than later.
First pitch sinker misses in on the hands that time. It's a ball and no strikes. That evens it up 1-1. One and two as the changeup had him out in front there.
And we've seen a lot of that pitch here in the first 4 innings, and it's been real effective for him, and that's another example right there.
Hard sinker misses, 2-2. Hit the other way out toward right field. Hayward moves over. Makes the play, 1 away.
Now batting.
This crowd oohs and ahs every time this guy hits a fly ball. But he didn't get all of that one, and it's pretty much a can of corn.
Jose Ramirez is the batter. Got a base hit in his first trip. And here's a sinker that causes him to back away as that just about got him.
I think it's pretty simple. The message here is stop leaning out over the plate. Well, pitcher's got to be able to work inside, so that's just a reminder there.
2-0 now. Pulled strike on the change, 2-1. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Zobrist posts under it. Makes the play, and there are 2 gone now.
Well, you know, he had the right idea up there, so at least you know he's thinking. He tried to go the other way with this ball, but he got under it just a little bit, and it's an easy play out there in left field.
Into the box, Lonnie Chisenhall. He got called out on strikes his last time through.
Well, you know, it never feels good to go down on strikes, especially looking. You wouldn't be surprised to see him be a little more aggressive in this at-bat.
Into the seats, 0-1. Sinker, 1 ball, 1 strike. Foul right at the plate. The count moves now to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 delivery. 2-2 now with 2 away and the base is empty. Sinker, 3-2 now. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Very weakly on the ground. That's a foul ball.
This is turning into a great battle at the plate.
Full count here. Here comes the pitch. And he looks at one that misses, and that's an excellent job of making his man throw a lot of pitches as he toughs out a walk.
With 2-way, you're just looking to get on base somehow, especially when this guy hasn't given you anything so far. So, at the very least, make him work out of the stretch and throw a few more pitches here.
Rajay Davis will dig in now, hoping to perhaps make him pay for the 2-out walk. Changes up on him, but that's in the dirt for a ball.
Well, not really how you want to start the next guy after a walk. That pitch isn't even close.
2 out with the man at first. That's inside. 2-0. Here it is. And here's a ball hit in the air. And it in fact lands in the corner, foul. Grounded down the third baseline, but this will wind up a foul ball. 2-2. He's set. Here's the 2-2. And this is lined right back up the middle. And that falls in for a solid base hit, his second of the night.
And a good job there of keeping the inning alive. That's all you needed to do. And now one more 2-out knock, and they get that run right back.
Digging in, Coco Crisp, as the switch hitter will take his cuts left-handed here.
You know, he's just flat out a better hitter from the left side. He's a switch hitter, but it's no secret this is his favorite side to hit from.
And a sinker dips too low there. Into the dirt, in fact. 2 down, runners at first and second. And I believe they'll say he broke the plane, as yes he did. It's ruled a strike. He waits, now the pitch. In front of the changeup, and he can't keep it fair. 2 strikes on him now. Hit out towards second. Backhanded. And he'll just slap the tag on the runner heading to second, and the inning is over. A golden opportunity to get on the board here goes for naught. Back with more from the big one. Game 7 returns after this. Kyle Schwarber heads for the box to start off the 5th in this one.
The designated hitter, Kyle Schwarber.
First pitch of the inning is taken low and away for a ball. It's 1-0.
Yeah, and when that pitch starts off outside, it's much easier to get a better view of it and then just lay off.
Some stirring now in the Cleveland bullpen. They'll get both a left-hander and a right-hander up and throwing.
Nope.
Sinker stays outside and is behind now 2-0. Take sign must have been on there because that's right down the middle. Strike one.
And against a guy like this, you're usually only going to get one pitch to hit in that bat. Sometimes you might not even get that, so that's one he may want back.
All even now, 2-2. Now the fastball is right by him as he swings and misses for the first out of the inning. 7th and final game of the World Series as you get a look at our line score to this point in this emotionally charged contest. Chris Bryant will stand in now, a punch-out victim twice already. EK, I'll ask you because you're the one sitting next to me. Do you approach an at-bat differently when you have 2 strikeouts under your belt this early in the game?
Well, you do in the sense that whatever you did the first 2 times, it wasn't working. But I think if you start worrying too much about trying to avoid the hat trick or worse, it'll start becoming a mind game, and you'll start falling into some pretty bad habits.
And that's swung on and missed for strike one.
And this is part of the reason why he's staring a hat trick right in the face. He just hasn't been able to recognize these pitches that are well out of the zone.
2 runs, 6 hits. No errors so far for the Cubbies. Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2.
And with some of these guys, it's like they're in an 0-2 count before they even come to the plate.
Kluber steps into his windup. 0-2 on its way. Tries the slider to ring him up, but he lays off 1-2.
Not a real good 0-2 there. You don't necessarily want it in the zone, but you do want to at least give him something to think about.
Smoked on the ground left side. And a base hit as that's into left, and they've got themselves a base runner.
Yeah, he got a little revenge there. He struck out twice before that, and now he gets him back with a solid base hit.
Digging in now, Anthony Rizzo. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up.
It was a pretty big strikeout, too, because he had a chance to drive in a run, so I'm sure he's going to be thinking about that missed opportunity for a little while.
And he gets ahead here with the fastball, strike 1.
Oh, that's a good fastball right there, and you had to figure that he was looking for that sinker.
Runner at first here, 1 man out. And a breaking ball in the dirt that time for a ball.
And now with that pitch count getting up there just a little bit, you can see that some of these pitches are missing just a little farther away than they were earlier.
Had nibbled the corner there, but missed 2-1.
And that's not a bad spot. Just go ahead and stay out there. Don't come down the middle because we know he can hurt you.
Takes that one a little bit low. 3 balls and a strike now.
This is a good fastball spot for him now, and keep in mind, he's got a big hole on that right side of the infield.
Runners on first with 1 down. On the ground to the left side. Reined in. Kipnis on to Napoli, and they get 2 here to get him out of the inning. Around the horn they go. 5-4-3 to end the threat. Game 7 rolls on. We're back after this. Roberto Perez will stand in to lead things off here, and his guys have been unable to get anything going to this point.
Yeah, and you think so many times in the postseason, we see starting pitching really come to the forefront. And this guy's been every bit as good as advertised so far.
Into the windup and the pitch. And a first pitch sinker is over for strike 1. Tap foul at home plate. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Hit sharply toward the right side. Hayward is there, 1 away.
Well, they've been a little unlucky so far because they're putting the ball in play. And they've hit a few of those balls really hard, but they're just not falling for them right now.
Carlos Santana will try it again. He's grounded out and struck out in 2 trips.
Yep, not showing too much so far, but he's got a chance to make something happen right here. See if he can put those other ABs behind him.
Drops in a strike to start the at-bat. 0-1. And he'll just get a piece here as this is chopped foul at home plate. Trying to strike him out for the second time. Now a swing and a fly ball. Fowler on the run. He can't get there as it falls in.
Well, that's a nice piece of defensive hitting right there. What I mean by that, with 2 strikes, you've got to open that zone up a little because you don't want to get caught looking at strike 3. So he lets it fly here on a pitch pretty well out of the zone, but he makes it work out for him.
So 1 gone in the inning here with the runner at first. And standing in now, the power-hitting second baseman, Jason Kipnis. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. And he's no doubt searching for a ground ball here as this sinker dips below the knees. It's 1-0. Runner at first here, 1 man out. Chop foul at the plate, strike 1.
You know, some of Jason Kipnis' teammates affectionately call him Dirtbag because he has a habit of giving his body up and getting his uniform dirty on every play. And you got to love a guy like that.
Softly hit toward the hole. 1 there, but 1's all they were ever going to get, and the inning will continue.
This is always a tough throw here for a first baseman coming off the bag. You got to make sure that you don't just throw the ball right into the runner's back heading down to second base. Here he takes just a little extra time to make sure that he makes a good throw. And they're going to settle for just 1 at second.
First things first, here's a throw over. And he'll get back in safely.
Got a pretty good lead right there.
And another throw over. And he'll get dirty, but he's back in safely. So here's Francisco Lindor now. as he'll take strike one on the inside corner.
And, you know, whenever he's been in trouble on the mound, he's found a way to turn things around. And that's a good job to start this guy with strike one.
A runner on first with 2 away. Now a throw over and a dive, but he's back in there.
Just keeping an eye on him.
Now the 0-1. Hit back up the middle. Gloved by Russell. And a gorgeous flip to second, and with that, the side is retired. Indians leave one. They trail it here 2-0. Ben Zobrist will dig in now. He struck out and lined out in his first 2 at-bats.
Yeah, he hit that ball pretty hard on the line out. He just couldn't get it to fall for him.
First pitch on its way. Out in front of it, strike one. 0-1 count, and the pitch. And a sinker dips too low there. Into the dirt, in fact. Grounded back up the middle. Throw to first gets him, so the leadoff man's retired here to begin the 6th.
Now batting.
He's been able to get outs when he needs them with that curveball, and there you see what his pitch breakdown has been so far.
Stepping in, Addison Russell. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time. He'll hold off on the slider to start the at-bat. It's ball 1. Ikeda's starter creeping up on 100 pitches now, but that number alone doesn't appear to be affecting him too much at all.
Yeah, he still looks sharp. Still, with the way that teams handle pitchers nowadays, I don't think he'll wind up going much further.
And a fastball that's about off the radar screen there. It's 2-0.
2 times here they've gone away, both pretty easy takes. And as a hitter, now I'm thinking it might be time they try to bust something inside.
Hit hard on the ground to second. Kipnis has it. Throw in time at first for out number 2.
2 more ground outs, and that's the product of throwing that sinker. Just about every time you swing at it, you're either going to hit the top of it or miss it altogether. And if you do hit it, you're going to be killing all the worms out there in front of home plate.
Number 40 stands in. First delivery to him on the way. Outside target here, and he hits it for strike 1. And with just 5 2/3 innings under his belt, he's about to hit the century mark in his pitch count now. 2 out, nobody on. Lays off the sinker here, a ball and a strike. And this one's tapped foul at home plate. Hard sinker misses, 2-2. And this is fouled at the plate. Into the windup. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Here's a high pop-up. Napoli is camped under this one, and that will retire the side. Mike Napoli will start things out on the other side. To the bottom of the 6th inning. Cubs lead it 2-0. And there is Mike Napoli. He'll lead it off as we start the home 6th.
Mike Napoli.
Cubs have someone working in their bullpen now as a right-hander's begun to get loose. Here comes the first pitch. Hit sharply on the ground to the left. And that's a base hit. So a little first pitch swing in there as he's on to kick off the inning.
Back into the stretch for him again as we take a look at his line so far. It's almost like he's kept that shutout going with smoke and mirrors because he's definitely given up his share of base runners. They just haven't amounted to anything so far.
Jose Ramirez will dig in now. A single and a fly out for him in 2 trips thus far.
And you know, I think he's had a good approach in each of his first 2 at-bats. He seems to be seeing the ball well and putting some decent swings on it.
Just able to get a piece of that for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball sent back up the middle. He'll go to the bag for 1. On to Rizzo, and it's a double play.
This is a nice play up the middle. You can see this ball takes the shortstop right to the bag, so he'll just step on second and fire on to first for the double play.
Lonnie Chisenhall will stand in. As the sinker to him finds the zone for strike 1. Not too many strikeouts on the ledger for him so far, but it hasn't really mattered.
Yeah, I think ideally you'd like to see him miss a few more bats, but as long as you're keeping guys off balance and you're letting your defense help you, you don't need to strike a ton of guys out to be successful.
Lifted the other way out to left center. On the move is Fowler. He can't get there, so the inning will continue. And he will stroll in there standing with a 2-out double.
Well, neither offense has really made a huge impact so far, but finally maybe a little sign of life. He drives this ball for 2 bases, and even though they've had trouble scoring runs, they're not out of this thing by a long shot. A couple more of these could get him right back into it.
Rajai Davis will step in now as his guys look for a breakthrough here with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, and it's been a long time coming. They haven't done anything with their opportunities so far. Maybe this will be the time that they finally crack the scoreboard.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. High and deep to right. Back goes Hayward at the track. He's there to make the play, and that'll retire the side. 1 left for the Tribe. They trail things here 2-0. Back here in Cleveland, on to the 7th inning now in Game 7. But before we start, we take a look at our game summary to this point. Cody Allen is on the pitch now as he'll take over to start inning number 7.
37, Cody Allen.
Jason Hayward will stand in here to start the 7th in a game that's been sailing along to this point.
Yeah, good thing we don't get paid by the hour, man. This game has flown by.
He slaps that one away, and the count will be 0-1. Big swing and a miss at the fastball, and he's behind in the count 0-2.
That thing's coming in there hot, 96 miles an hour.
Oh, and he dusted him off the plate that time. Some mind games being played now. It's 1-2.
He will definitely give you something to think about up there. There are no comfortable at-bats against this guy.
High fly ball out to straightaway center. Davis is there. And he hauls it in for the first out of the inning.
Up next for the Cubs, second baseman, Javier Baez.
Javier Baez will stand in. A strikeout victim his first time and then a base hit last time around. breaking ball for a strike. 0-1.
Not a bad idea to take a look at that one there. Now that you've seen the curveball, you can start to get a better gauge on it. Get a feel for what it looks like coming out of the pitcher's hand.
Allen's ready. Here's the 0-1. Right over the top with that curveball, and it's 0-2. And they'll try to tempt him with a curveball, but this bounces in front of the plate, and it's 1-2.
Well, you know, when you're behind an account like this, it's all about changing your approach at the plate. You got to shorten up a little bit and just look to put the ball in play.
Tried to shoot the corner, and he missed it. 2-2.
And the hope was that he would have chased one of those pitches, but now on 2-2, I don't think you fool around anymore.
And this one's chopped foul right at home plate. One out, nobody on. Off-speed pitch, and this one runs in and nearly gets him here.
Sometimes if you let that changeup go too soon, it'll take off on you. He's lucky that didn't hit him.
And he takes ball 4, so a good job out of the 9-hole in getting on base as we go back to the top of the order.
That's an easy take right there on the 3-2 pitch. Not all that inviting at all. You want to at least make the guy think about hacking up there. Instead, now he's on with one away.
Dexter Fowler ready for another at-bat now. He's 2 for 3 so far.
Yeah, and you can bet he'd love to get himself that third hit. Those are the kind of games that puts a little extra pep in your step.
Started to go around, but it's ruled strike one anyway.
And after a walk, I think there's a little anger behind that fastball.
Fastball, and he's quickly in the hole. 0-2. Fastball, strike 3 called as he couldn't pull the trigger, and there are 2 away.
And if you want to see a guy get blown away at the plate, this is just one finger down 3 times in a row. He was just overmatched there.
Into the box now, Kyle Schwarber, as he'll take a breaking ball too low, and it's 1-0. He's ready. Here's the 1-0. That one will get out of play, and the count evens up at 1-1. 2 out with the man at first. Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1-2. And he'll try to take control of the inside part of the plate with the fastball as he backs him off a bit.
I think you have to ask yourself, was he trying to throw a fastball for a strike right there? Or was he just trying to set me up for that changeup away?
All even at 2-2. Here it is. Fastball didn't miss by much, and it's a full count now, 3-2.
And now the benefit of you working the count to 3-2 is that runner gets a head start from first with 2 away.
Just staying alive, putting together a really good at-bat here. Good battle here. This will be the 7th pitch coming up. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball right by him, and the inning is over. 1 left for the Cubs as they're unable to add to their 2-0 lead. Coco Crisp will start things off as they look to do something here to get on the scoreboard for the first time.
And they've seen some opportunities come and go. They do have 7 hits, so it's not like they haven't had base runners. They just haven't been able to bring those guys in.
And now the Cubs bullpen will start working here as both a lefty and a righty are up. There's the sinker to start him out, missing down and away for ball 1. That command may be starting to drift a bit. It's 2-0 now. Swing, and he pops him up over toward foul territory. And this is going to wind up a foul ball. Gets the sign. Here comes the 2-1. Chops it foul at home plate as the count moves to 2-2 now. Hard hit ball to second. And that's through for this first base hit in this one.
And they had to have that. This is the inning where a leadoff guy is critical. Now they've got a few options here with a speedy guy on first to start things out.
Roberto Perez will try things again. He's grounded out and lined out in 2 trips.
Yeah, he got solid contact on that line out, but it just didn't work out. In this game, you have to trust your approach. Eventually, it's going to pay off.
First pitch of the at-bat. Here's a sinker to start him out, but he wouldn't bite. It's ball 1. A look here at the hits per side here in the late going. Nobody out, runner on first. Here's a look over to first, and they got him.
Well, obviously there's never a good time to get picked off, but sometimes are worse than others. And when you're down by 2 late in the ball game, that is one of the worst times.
And he won't bite at that one either. It's 2-0. This is line to left, and that's in for a base hit. Make it a 1-for-3 game so far.
Well, this was a wise decision here to hold on at first base. Even though that ball's off the wall, I think they would have had a good shot at throwing him out. So he holds on at first.
Here's Carlos Santana now, as he will look at a curveball right on the black, apparently. It's strike 1.
Yeah, and it seems like he kind of got away from that pitch here in the last few innings. You got to think about bringing that one right back.
Runners on first with 1 down. Goes down to get the off-speed pitch here as this is sent in the air out to left. It's got some carry to it. And that ball is gone. A home run. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left. His first homer here in the series as the Indians have come back to tie it at 2.
I think sometimes as a pitcher, as soon as you release the pitch, you have a feeling that you could be in trouble. And that was big trouble right there. Big home run that ties this game up.
On his way toward the mound now is skipper Joe Madden. And it looks as though that's going to be all for his starter here tonight. Won't get a decision in this one, but except for a few mistakes, he pitched pretty well here this evening. Hector Rondon will get the call now as he'll try to get the final 2 outs and send this one along into the 8th.
Hector Rondon. The second baseman, number 22.
And is the second baseman, Jason Kipnis. As he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike.
So often playoff baseball comes down to the bullpen. And this is going to be a bullpen game from here on out.
And here's a pitch inside, and that got him.
Yeah, no way for him to be able to get out of the way of that one. Seeing as though he's the go-ahead run, probably wouldn't have tried too hard anyway.
Before the delivery, a check on that go-ahead run at first. Runner back safely.
Simple throw over there.
So here's Francisco Lindor now. And a fastball in the dirt that's taken for a ball. Kipnis runs. High and deep to straightaway right. Hayward looks up. Gone! A 2-run shot that gives them the lead. A 2-run blast to straightaway right field. His first homer so far in the series, and it's given the Indians a 4-2 lead.
This is what you expect when you make it to the postseason. I mean, you expect the guys that have carried you all year to keep on producing, and sure enough, he comes through again and delivers a no-doubter here.
Pedro Strop will get the call now as he'll try to get the final 2 outs and send this one along into the 8th.
Pedro Strop. The batter.
Here's Mike Napoli now. And this one's not close. It's in the dirt for ball 1. 4 runs here in this half inning. Fastball got him to swing through it. It's 1-1.
Yeah, that's a very hittable location right there. Not where you want to be when you're facing a guy like this.
And he comes back with a fastball. 1-2 now. And a slider runs away from him there, and the count levels at 2-2.
Pretty good discipline right there with 2 strikes. That's a tough sweeping slider. Difficult to lay off, but he did it.
Bases are empty. 1 man out. Swing and a miss on the fastball that time. Out number 2.
And I think right there, that's what you might call a statement fastball out of the bullpen. Right down the middle, and he's basically saying, hit it if you can.
Stepping in now, Jose Ramirez. As he takes a cold strike at the knees, it's 0-1. Hit back up the middle. That's through for a base hit, his second of the ball game.
Yeah, this might have caught a little too much of the inside part of the plate. I think he wants us in a little tighter, but didn't get it in all the way, and it winds up costing him.
Lonnie Chisenhall will stand in as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike one.
And you know what? These days, so many guys are throwing in the high 90s. It makes those mid to low 90s guys look easy. But I'll tell you what, if he mixes his pitches well, it can still be plenty fast to have to deal with.
A little quick on that swing, and he finds himself behind 0-2. Protecting on 0-2, so we'll do it again. Strike three, and that'll put an end to a big inning. So they nearly bat around here as 8 men come to the plate, and they push across 4 runs. We'll look ahead to inning number 8 now. It's the Indians 4 and the Cubs 2. Number 54 will be the new pitcher.
Pitching for the Indians, number 54.
Chris Bryant will stand in to lead things off here in what's now a brand new ball game.
Yeah, and how about that last half inning? Now it's up to these guys to respond, maybe punch back, if you will.
Now some movement in the Tribe bullpen as a right-hander starts to loosen up. First pitch is a changeup for a called strike.
And you can see him trying to be a little bit more patient here. He's got 2 strikeouts already, but he's got to be careful not to fall too far behind.
One pitch, and he can't make contact on the bender. 0-2.
And here's where you don't need to be an RBI guy. You don't need to be a home run guy. You have to be a leadoff guy. Just get on base somehow to give that tying run on deck a shot.
Drilled right back up the middle. And this is going to be through into center field for a base hit as the leadoff man's aboard in the 8th.
They've let these guys keep hanging around, not able to put them away. I tell you, this game, it's far from over. They're not going to go quietly.
Anthony Rizzo will stand in now in what could be a real make-or-break situation.
And you think at this point you have to get something out of this inning. The further you get into that bullpen, the tougher it's going to be to claw back from this deficit.
A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1-0.
Well, you know, if there's anybody in this lineup capable of getting a rally started, this is the guy right here.
A runner at first with no outs here. Now a swing as he pulls this one down the line in right. Chisenhall has a read on it, and that's the first out of the inning. And in a 4-2 game, time to check the numbers here. It's our starter comparison as we see how these two performances stack up against one another. Ben Zobrist will step in, a ground-out victim as last time.
And Matt, with the double play in order, they'll obviously be looking to induce another ground ball out of him right here.
Now action in the bullpen as their closer starts to get loose out there. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. And he'll try to crowd him there to start the at-bat. It's 1-0. Getting late, 4-2 our score as we play the 8th inning. Chopped weakly to the left. He's right there. The second for one on to Napoli, but it's too late, and they'll settle for just the one.
Yeah, you know, a double play there was always going to be a stretch, and that's where you just take that force out at second, get the lead runner, and then say, you know what, thank you very much.
Addison Russell gets another crack right here. He's got a hit in 3 tries to this point. First offering on its way. Just off the outside, and it's 1-0.
He wanted to go after that one, but that's a good eye to just watch it all the way in.
One 0 count. Here it is. In for a strike. It's 1-1.
1-1.
Hit sharply on the ground. And the inning will continue as that's through for a 2-out hit. And that runner will go no further than second as there are 2 aboard now.
They continue to rack up the hits. That puts runners on first and second now. But, as we always say, it's what you do with all those base runners that's important. And so far, they haven't done a whole lot. Just take a look at our score.
Number 40 steps in for a big at-bat in this one. 2 on, 2 away here in the 8th.
Yeah, this is a huge moment in this ball game, Matt. I mean, you might be looking at this at-bat when it's all over as one of the turning points in this game.
And he'll start him with a high strike here on the fastball on the outside corner. It's 0-1.
Yeah, even with 2 on and 2 away, this is not a guy that's going to back down out there. He comes right after him with a fastball, and he gets ahead.
2 men are on with 2 men out. Now a little tapper here up the first baseline. But this will get foul for strike 2. Inside, as that perhaps will back him off a bit. 1-2. Swing and a miss, and that ends the inning. Cubs strand a couple. Still down by a count of 4-2. C.J. Edwards is on out of the bullpen now as he'll take over to start the bottom of the 8th.
C.J. Edwards.
Into the box now, Rajay Davis. He flew out in his last at-bat.
And that's just not really his game. Anytime he keeps it on the ground, he's got a pretty good chance of beating out a hit.
Pitch swung on and hit in the air. Fowler is there, and that's not the way you want to start the bottom of the 8th. 1 pitch, 1 gone.
He's just trying to get a fastball in there to start the inning. Ball winds up getting hit pretty well, but not well enough to do any damage. It's a 1-pitch out.
Stepping in and ready for another shot, Coco Crisp. He singled his last time up. First pitch curveball runs in a bit too tight. It's ball 1. 1 out, nobody on. And he fires in a strike this time to make it 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, there's a good one right there, right over the top, and just fire that thing in there.
Ready with the 1-1 pitch. Oh, that one got the pitcher. Thankfully, he's able to recover, and he gets the second out at first. Well, this is certainly something you never want to see. Perhaps the silver lining here, if there is one, is that got him in the non-throwing arm. So if he had to work his way through this, he probably could, assuming, of course, that there's nothing broken in there. And I think he is indeed planning to give it another go. Roberto Perez digs in. He reached on a single and would later wind up scoring in his last at-bat. curveball taken outside to begin the at-bat. Ball 1. Fastball misses away here. It's 2-0. And with 2 away here, this is not the time to lose the strike zone.
Especially not to a number 9 hitter. The last thing you want to do is turn this lineup over and give these guys a shot to make something out of this inning after all.
2-1 after the foul ball there. Ready to deal. Here's the 2-1. Hot shot to third. Bryant's got it, and 8 innings have come and gone now as the inning is over. Stick around because Jason Hayward will lead things off when we come back. It's the Indians 4 and the Cubs 2. And welcome back to Major League Baseball on the show from Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Andrew Miller is on now to try to close things down here in the ninth.
Number 24, Andrew Miller.
Jason Hayward will come forward now trying to stave off elimination as he'll get the first crack at things here in their half of the ninth.
Well, it's so hard to believe that everything they've worked for all season long comes down now to these final 3 outs.
Ninth inning underway now as the first pitch is taken for a cold strike. And it's quickly 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Not a bad pitch there with 2 strikes, but it misses 1-2. And tough fastball to lay off on 1-2, but he did, and it's 2-2 now. And a swing and a miss. Good pitch there for the first out here in the ninth.
Well, this is what you want out of your closer. Comes in firing darts, and it's a very quick out, number 1.
Javier Baez will stand in, needing to do something here to get on base as they're down to their final 2 outs.
Yeah, and you just can't worry about the score right here. You just got to be able to string together a couple of base runners and take it 1 pitch at a time, 1 runner at a time.
Here's the first pitch. Starts him out with a slider for a strike. Nothing in 1 count. Here it comes. Squared that one up just a little late. And he strikes him out as well. So make it back-to-back punch-outs here to the first 2 men he faces out of the bullpen.
Well, you get a good sense of his value to this ball club watching this. 2 hitters, 2 strikeouts, and now they're an out away from wrapping this thing up.
Dexter Fowler will stand in, and their season hangs in the balance here as they're down to their final out. Fastball too high, and it's 1-0. Swing and a miss. Blew it right by him at 96. It's a ball and a strike.
Yeah, when that's upstairs like that, that's a pitch you got to leave alone and make him bring something down.
A little behind on that swing, and now he'll try to shorten up maybe and protect the plate. A packed house. 43,515 on their feet in Cleveland. Swing, and he pops him up. This should do it. And that's going to do it. It's all over, and the Indians are the world champs.
Well, let the celebrating begin. This is a World Series for the ages. And it came down to a Game 7, but all along, I really felt like this was the better team, and they proved it here. They are the world champions.
Back now on the show. It's all over, and you see the reactions there to the final out. And down on the field, we'll get a chance to watch the presentation of the Commissioner's Trophy to the new world champs.
Final line score for our ball game tonight for the victorious Cleveland Indians. 4 runs, 12 hits, no errors.